Hey everyone, welcome to Force Conversation, the show where two scruffy-looking nerf herders love to get together and talk about all things Star Wars. My name's Jay.
And I'm Colin.
Welcome to the show.
Yay.
So Colin, how are you doing? We're recording a bit earlier this week.
Yes, we are. Pressing matters this week means an early recording, but that's fine because we're closer to all the news that have happened today, and Rebels is still fresh in my mind.
Yep, mine too, kind of.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get on to that anyway a bit later on. So, should we just get things going, kick off, and start with the news for this week?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's not been a super busy week for news, is it? I mean, there's a few stories. The big one, I guess, is Woody Harrelson being confirmed as actually having a part in the new Han Solo movie. We talked about it a bit last week, but want to expand on that, Jay?
Well, yeah. So obviously last week when we talked about it, it was a rumour that had come out of Variety. So they were saying, there's a rumour that Woody Harrelson's going to be in the movie, and Variety are pretty on point. If they say something's happening, it pretty much is happening. So today, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller have confirmed on StarWars.com that he is going to be in the young Han Solo movie. Now, Woody's role isn't confirmed, so the rumour is he's going to be a mentor for young Han Solo, but that's not confirmed anywhere. All they've said is, yep, we're glad to have him. I'm just reading it straight from StarWars.com here. The quote is, his ability to find both humour and pathos, often in the same role, is truly unique. And this is the important bit, he is also very good at ping pong. So it sounds like Han Solo's mentor is going to be teaching Han to play ping pong, which we know will be useful for him in a galaxy far, far away, right?
Yeah, well, I'd be a bit concerned because gravity might make the balls fly away. Lack of gravity on the old ships.
Depends. Well, they've got artificial gravity. That's why they don't float around.
But you know that hunk of junk they fly around in, not the most reliable.
The gravity, the anti-gravity just kicks in, and
and also ping pong. I think I can see Han Solo more as a beer pong player.
Yeah, totally. But maybe he's
him
good
and
at
Lando.
that too. Maybe he's good at beer pong. So, but yeah. Anyway, the news is that Woody is confirmed, and I'm happy about that. The more I've thought about it, I think he'll be a good person to have in a Star Wars movie. I mean, if I think about things like Zombieland, for example, like Tallahassee, right? But he's really good in that, and like that kind of.
But it's also got Metallica in the soundtrack, which makes it better.
And that too, yeah. So, but what I mean, like he could be cool playing that kind of role. You know what I mean? I can see that he's a bit of a scoundrel, that kind of thing.
It's good. It's good. It's good casting.
It's good casting.
Possibly a little bit obvious. I think was my only concern from last week was that, as I said, a mentory type role. Woody Harrelson, we've seen it before a little bit.
Or Hunger Games,
and is it, but he'll be fine. He'll be fine because also in Kingpin he was a bit of a mentor as well, wasn't he? In that.
So at least we know he's got experience.
Mentor, right? He's got a good CV.
But at the end of the day, we don't know what they're going to do with the movie. Like, no one knows the plot of it yet or anything. So, it could turn out to be something cool. Hopefully it does. Like, as we've both said before, I'm not really that bothered about Han Solo movie. But if they're going to make it, which they are, then I hope they do it really good. And,
well, we know it won't be poo. It's just how good it will be. So that's it.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Excellent. Right. On to our next story, my friend. And this is Rian Johnson. He's been chatting away, hasn't he? He's been having an old chinwag.
He has, yeah.
And talking a little bit about the plot for the new film.
Yeah.
Tell us more, Jay.
So he's not giving loads away, but
surprise.
There's a couple of articles about this, and he's really talking about Rey and Luke and their relationship, and that Rey and Luke's part is going to be a major part of the movie. So apparently they are in the movie a lot. So Luke is in the movie a lot.
Yeah.
There was actually a note that I meant to add to this, which I forgot to, but it was to do with the rumor about the puffins on Skellig Island, and that they are going to be creatures in episode 8, and that they're going to be a bird-like creature, right, that has sharp teeth, and I think something like Luke has one of them who he's friends with, because you have to be allowed by them to be on Achto. Yeah, is it Achto? Is that how they? Or was it Achto? I don't know how you pronounce it.
You're completely talking to one person there, matey.
But so supposedly Luke is allowed to be there, but Rey isn't. Right, and these are like guardians of the island, and so Rey's supposed to fight some giant sea creature, and after she fights and obviously defeats the sea creature, then she is welcome on the island. So this is one of the rumours out there at the moment.
That does not sound good.
Well, it depends how they do it. I mean, it's going to be like the old. That sounds very much like the old Jason and the Argonauts kind of thing to me, right? Like some big.
Sounds like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Comes out or whatever.
I hope Johnny Depp plays the sea monster.
Oh, Savvy. Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine if that's what happens?
I saw something, and I didn't read it properly, so this is probably why I've completely got the wrong end of the stick. I saw an article, and I didn't read the article, but I saw a few pictures with it, and the pictures were the birds from the island and Ahsoka's bird.
Yes, and so those birds, now the name off the top of my head, I can't remember what they're called. It's that is actually an article from MakingStarWars.net. And they had posted this a while back. They were in the Clone Wars cartoons, those birds. So if you go to MakingStarWars.net, it's like right at the top of the page. It's a recent article. They've kind of reposted it to go in line with this story of the birds. But the other thing was that episode 8 is going to pick up directly where 7 left off, which we've all kind of like
we
heard
knew
that for a while, right? So earlier on today, I was watching Collider Movie Talk, right? And they talk about this. As you know, I like their videos. And Mark Ellis, who's on their panel, brought something up. And I'd never thought of this before, but I'd like to know what you think, right? So he goes, okay, if episode 8 picks up directly after episode 7, what's going to be in the crawl? Like, hey, welcome back. That, it's Star Wars. I was like, yeah, is it going to be like, yeah, you know all that stuff in episode 7? All that happened, and now it's episode 8. What are they going to write in the crawl? Because normally the crawl fills in the gap, doesn't it? Like,
it does.
They've been to this place and that place, but it's going to be like, so Luke stood there and stared at Rey for ages, and then we kind of span around them. Now we're picking up what happened. Enjoy. Where's it going?
I guess it would be a recap of what's happened in Force Awakens, which would be rubbish. The only other thing is, though, what it could do is set the scenes for other elements of the story. So, for instance, if we know most of it's about Luke, but what we don't know is what Luke's been up to, things about those birds, things like that. So it could tell you some backstory that you need to know
about the island.
Yeah,
about,
or whatever is going to happen in the episode,
island or something like. Okay, so episode 7.
Because we've only seen what we've seen. We haven't seen all what else is going on in the rest of the galaxy, and some of that might have repercussions in this film, rather than be directly tailing on from the last one.
It was an interesting point.
But yeah, it's a good point.
I thought, what would they put in there? And normally you connect it up because you're aware of what they were doing.
Yeah.
But in this one, it's like, we really, really are aware of what they were doing because we just left. But so that's the bit that Rian Johnson talked about. That was a USA Today interview. The other thing that they could mention is obviously what the First Order have done since, because obviously we don't know how long it took between Starkiller blowing up and Rey getting to the island. And it has to be some time, right? Because Finn's already, he's in the medical bay.
Yeah.
Rey's changed her clothes, so there's that.
So it could be a bit of time. So it could give a bit of, here's what's happened to the First Order. here's what's happened back on base.
And also, they had to travel to Achtu or Achtu.
That's what I'm saying. So that could have took
so.
a couple of weeks. You never know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good point. You know, and the last thing we saw
was everyone waving.
Yeah, but it was
3PO got a new arm.
3PO got his arm, his gold arm. But the last thing we saw with Snoke was he told Hux to bring
him back.
Kylo. So yeah, there's probably going to be something to do with that as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, cool. Right, and on to the next one.
Yeah, the next
kind
story
of segues from the Kylo Ren.
Yeah, so there's been more talk around what's happening with Kylo Ren. They're talking about his costume and appearance. They've been talking about what he's flying around in, what his new motor is.
Yeah. So with Kylo Ren, obviously we all know how he wants to be like Vader. So supposedly, and this little bit about the costume has been out for a while, which is that he's going to be dressing a little bit more like Vader, in that he's going to have a cape, that he's managed to get hold of a cape similar to Vader's. Whether or not it is one of Vader's capes, because Vader had
get on eBay
costume. Sorry?
Can you get it on eBay?
Yeah, on what would Galaxy eBay be called?
Or maybe they've got like a local buy and sell on his Facebook.
Maybe, yeah. He's got on his friends list someone who's selling it, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I really want one of these." No, so
well, actually, because they do talk about again in the Bloodlines book about this big market for buying
old Imperial
armor and stuff, and also Rebel stuff from the Galactic War.
So yeah, I doubt that Kylo Ren would just buy it. Like, I reckon he'd just turn up at the dude's door with his lightsaber, like, yeah, hand it over, motherfucker. Yeah, sorry.
No swears, Jay.
But, yeah, you know, he's going to have a cape. So whether it is one of Vader's old ones, or he's just, you know, fashioned one himself that kind of looks like Vader's, and the chain that Vader has. So it's going to have a similar kind of, that kind of look. You know, he's obviously going for that. I wonder if he's going to have a new helmet, because, you know, he put that down on the bridge and then started the base blow. So is that going to have a little bit more of a Vader look, more of the bit at the back or something? You know,
didn't they show some concept art for this or not? Or did I dream that?
For his new helmet?
Well, just generally his whole new look. I'm sure I've seen things.
I think that there was. So this article came from MakingStarWars.net. Who are really good as well with their rumours, and they're generally right. And they do a thing where they've got the info from someone, because they don't have any pictures or whatever, but they'll draw what they've described. Yeah, so it could be that you saw it on something like that.
Someone's artist's interpretation.
Well, it's always the same types of drawings they do. So it's obviously those guys, they take the whatever he said and then they draw it. And so
maybe we should start doing that.
We should do that, right? Everyone be like, "Oh, guys, you need to stop." But, do you know what I mean? So you might have seen it on that, because they did one with Luke's new robes. You know, he's going to have some new robes, and they've done it with Rey's new robes as well.
I must admit, I saw on the article about it, the story being more about Luke, I saw some really cool pictures of Luke, because obviously, again, people have been getting really excited, all the fans have been drawing pictures of Luke. I saw quite a good meme with Obi-Wan pulling his hood off and Luke pulling his hood off, and it was saying both our apprentices have turned to the dark side and we ran away. It was like, oh, rubbish.
But Obi-Wan didn't used to stitch his outer robe to his inner tunic, where Luke does. His is all stitched in. You can see it, like, when he pulls it off. That always makes me laugh.
That's bad.
Yeah, they should have covered that up. But anyway, back to Kylo Ren. The ship that he's going to be flying, so he's going to have a TIE fighter, right? Which is going to look similar in shape. So there's a picture on MakingStarWars.net. They've actually watermarked it, but I'll stick it up quickly. But, you know, viewers should go and check out this full article, because there's a couple of pictures on there. There's a lot of good information. So, you know, have a full-on read of this. But apparently it's going to have a similar shape fuselage to the TIE Striker that we saw in Rogue One, so more like oblong, like pill-shaped.
Oh,
and
cool.
The wings are kind of like that as well. They kind of they are angled like Vader's TIE Advanced, but they kind of over the top as well a bit more. It looks kind of cool. And so it's going to be a First Order TIE Advanced, which is what it's called. It was actually, the picture they've got is a concept for the TIE Fighter from The Force Awakens. But apparently they actually built a physical one of these ships, of Kylo Ren's new ship, at Pinewood Studios.
Oh, did they?
So it exists. Which is
cool. Well, we just need to get a trip to Pinewood Studios then.
Yeah, like we need to get on the,
Shall I ask Kathy to send us an email? Something
get
out?
a name right first, though, dude, because Kathleen.
Yeah, no, I like to call her Kathy. That's what she tells me.
Oh, she said it's all right. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure.
To me, she's Kathy.
If you're in, man, if you've got an in, do it.
Yeah, I'll have a quick word with her because that'd be quite nice. Have a little quick sneak round, force convo, exclusive maybe.
And we generally say nice things.
Oh yeah, as long as we're not talking about Rebels, all right.
Yeah.
And you can't see the sets of Rebels. That's all right. That's cool.
There you go.
Just on the TIE, I'm a bit fed up with the TIE Fighter, to be honest. I was hoping to see something different.
Well, look,
we've seen so many different versions of the same concept. At least the Rebels change our ships every now and again.
Well, I suppose that the Empire liked the TIE Fighters. They thought they were good, and the First Order were like, "Hey, man, the Empire liked these, and they were pretty good until they lost. So maybe we should
they weren't.
Maybe we should use them as well. Instead of those X-wings, they seem to win. Why don't we get some of those?
Well, that's what I was thinking. The X-wings are better.
You're not allowed because the rebels, they use those.
Yeah.
And also, people like Wedge and that, they're ex-TIE Fighter pilots, right? And they can fly X-wings.
All the flaws, yeah.
But they can fly X-wings, so surely all the other TIE Fighter pilots could fly X-wings. And U-wings now, and Y-wings.
It's just like dusting crops right here.
Flying through space.
Yeah.
Apparently it is like dusting crops, boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Right, so is that all we need for today?
Yeah, it's quite a short little news section. That looks like about it. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that, Jay. Thanks for that up-to-date roundup of all the hot news for Star Wars.
There is plenty of other news out there at the moment, but, obviously we just pick the bits that are most interesting to us at the time. Yeah, that's the bits that are interesting.
There's also a lot of rubbish out there, so who cares?
Well, yeah, stuff. I mean, there are little bits of non-news. I mean, if you go back to the Han Solo, the young Han Solo movie, MTV interviewed Diego Luna, and
non-news.
There's a Golden Globes. They're asking him, Rogue One was good and all that. So, are you going to be in the Han Solo movie? And he's like, well, I don't know. I can't say anything about that. And the news is that, did you see the look he gave? Come on, he's not going to be in young Han Solo. Why would he be in young Han Solo?
He could be.
Why would he be?
He'd fit in it though, timeline.
Yeah, but why would he be? And
also but this is the thing.
Younger, because Han Solo.
Well, how much younger?
Rogue One happens just before New Hope. Well, Han Solo's like 22, right? And in this, he's going to be
how old's Han Solo in this one though? He's not that young.
But he's going to be Alden Emmerich's
but Alden, what's his face?
20s, right?
Well, he looks about 30.
Yeah, he does. But I think he's going to be much younger than when we see him in Episode 4. Otherwise, Han Solo's literally just had his mentor, right? He's been hanging out.
Yeah, but again, I still think there's going to be young Han Solo.
Flashback. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't really see the point as well, because Han Solo's not in the rebellion at that point. He's just a smuggler and stuff. And you're going to force characters. You guys, you saw this guy recently in another movie, so we want to make sure that you remember that you saw him.
But I think there's a place for a cameo or something of him in there, like in a bar in the background or something like that, doing a little deal.
He does something. Han Solo sees him shoot someone under a table, and he's like, he's a bit of a space cowboy. I want to be like that guy. Rebellions are built on hope, you say? I'm going to write that down. Right, maybe that happens. All the good one-liners, it turns out, he came up with.
He goes, "Who's scruffy looking?"
Yeah, he steals everything. We find out that Han Solo's a fraud, and he stole everything from Cassian. Can you imagine? Just destroy the character. Everyone's like, "What the hell?" Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe that look, he's going to be in it, or maybe he just really wants to be in it, which I think might be the case.
Yeah, I think. Well, who wouldn't want to be in another film?
Oh, I'd totally want to be in a young Han Solo movie.
Right. Well, that's enough news. News, we're out. Now, next section is reviews. Oh, yeah. So, we've got quite a few things to review, actually, my friend.
There's a few things here.
Shall we kick off with Rebels? Get that out of the way?
Should we get Rebels out of the way? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, your whole the way you've been going on about it sounds like you weren't too into this episode.
What are you on best?
Well, two episodes.
Yeah,
both, right?
Yeah, I watched both, and the first episode I felt like I didn't need to bother watching. It was boring. Nothing. It was all set up. Could have been done in 5 minutes. Basically, nothing happened in the first episode. And then the second episode was okay. That's my review.
Okay, I'm going to be...
Go into a bit more detail, Jack.
I'm going to be a bit nicer about it this time, right?
Right.
So, okay, it was called Saw Gerrera in it, all right? And he's being voiced by Forrest Whitaker. We see him...
He didn't do his funny voice, so that disappointed me.
This is a spoilers bit, so everyone, spoilers.
No funny voice.
He didn't do his voice, but this is 2 years before, right? And what I got from him in this is that he's not as paranoid and everything just yet. However, you can see the beginnings of it, right? He's also not full-on like machine body. So something's going to happen between this and Rebels, which between this and Rogue One, hopefully we see it in Rebels. You know, like let us see that happen. I don't know if we will.
Jay, I think before we get into, I think that's why I was disappointed with it, because I thought this was going to be an episode where we actually see some stuff, and I think all that's done is just set up. There's going to be more of him later down the line.
Yeah.
But I thought we were going to see it this time.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Let's put it this way: they had Forrest Whitaker in Rogue One. And they said to him, "Hey, dude, like, you know, would you be up for doing the voice for Saw Gerrera on Rebels?" And he was like, "Yeah." Like, okay, how many times would you be up for doing it? Hey, I'll do it a whole bunch of times. Cool. Okay, well, we can have Forrest Whitaker. Let's make a few episodes where we can get him in, right? I'm guessing, but yeah. So that was good, right? That was the good thing. That was the good thing.
It was a good thing.
But that was the good thing for me. Other than that, click clack. What? He wasn't even like. He didn't do any of that, right? He spoke totally different, right? And
to be honest, click clack, I didn't mind him.
Well, one thing that bugs me is this: it's the convenient forgetting that you have the Force, right?
Yeah.
Because you have that bit, and this is the first episode. Let me just say, when I put it on, I didn't watch them all in one go. I thought, I'm going to sit down and watch both episodes of Rebels. Awesome. And then I watched the first episode, and I was like, I'll watch the next one tomorrow. But what happened was, I'm sitting there watching it, and there's that bit where they have to cross the chasm, and like they see, like Chopper shines his light, and they see Click Clack on the other side, right?
Yeah.
And he's got the thing to activate the battle droids, who Zeb and Sabine are out getting this, shield generator, and there's all these power droids underneath the sand. And so Kanan's like, all right, I'm going to force push you across. Ezra jumps, boom, pushes him across. The other two, he lifts up the thing, gets them to walk across, and then Forrest Whitaker, Saw Gerrera, goes, how's he going to get across? Okay, you've seen Jedi before, right? So you know how he's getting across.
One of the most powerful ones ever.
Right, and you were around him, so you know how he's getting across. He does it. He's kind of surprised for some reason, whatever. And then Ezra goes after Click Clack. Now, the other thing here is, remember that Ezra and Kanan came up against Vader, right? And they escaped. right? He comes up against Click-Clack, who shoves him out of the way, right? No, right? But also, why would you not just like force levitate him and take the thing out of his hand?
Yeah.
Right, that's what would happen there, but that doesn't happen.
Or just use the Force to make him do what they want to know.
Exactly. But
He's not exactly got a powerful mind, is he? He didn't look like he did.
And so they just forget that they have these abilities when it's convenient. And then when it's convenient as well, they all of a sudden become like the most powerful Force users in the galaxy ever, which is annoying. But so there was that. And so I watched that episode. It got to the end of that, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that was a bit dull. And to come back off your break with a dull episode kind of sucks, right? And it's a two-parter, so okay, maybe it's going to get better in the second half. But I started watching the second half, and if I'm honest, I sort of started to get distracted and lose interest. I had like the internet, I was like, oh yeah, I'm watching it, and I just wasn't feeling it. I was just like, this is too pretty dull episodes.
Happened, Jay. Nothing happened.
The trailer kicked the beep out of these
episodes. Yeah, the trailer was amazing, and I think that's what. They didn't do themselves any justice because they got me mega excited, and then they just dropped the ball, didn't they?
You come back on.
There were little bits that I like. I like when they went to get the shield generator, and then they found all the droidicas were under the sand.
Yeah, that was
that could have been really cool, but it wasn't. What else happened? In the second part, I mean, I got a bit excited because when the Imperial ship comes along, and there's that female
Ray
captain.
Sloane, right?
Huh?
That was Ray Sloane, wasn't it?
Well, it wasn't. I don't think it was.
I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, stuff's happening. I was like,
Yeah. Well, I was thinking that was Ray Sloane, thinking, great, brilliant. Right. At least that ties in, and it wasn't her. At the end of the credits, it was a different character.
Did it say someone else? Yeah. She's been in it before. Though.
She's been in the She was in the book, wasn't she? She was in the, but she hasn't been in the cartoon.
No,
that character.
Yeah, we've seen her before. But
which is why I thought it was the same person.
I don't remember who she is. Right. Yeah, it is one of those. Unfortunately, it's one of those episodes where it could have been good.
Yeah.
But it's a real downer to come back off a season break.
Yeah.
And you want to come back with something really exciting, getting people, oh yeah, cool, I'm glad it's back. And I know it's going to get better because we've seen that there's a few things coming up in the trailer that look like, well, we don't know it's going to get better. It looks like it's going to get better. Let's see. I'm going to still watch it. And I hate that I think I come across like I hate this show. I don't. Yeah. I really like this show. It's just that there's things like this that kind of, they're a down episode, I wasn't really feeling it, and yeah.
I mean, it was some cool. I mean, I liked you get to see some rocket troopers.
Yeah.
Sabine was a badass in that end bit. I was like, where's this come from? I didn't realise she was any good. But is she any good?
Oh, she beat up the leader of the Mandalorian Super Commandos at one point because they needed her to beat him. So
that episode was boring.
And that kind of stuff's inconsistent, though. That stuff's inconsistent. The other thing is they're like the white ones. They're the prototype Boba Fett, right?
Yeah.
And for me, having all these Mandalorians in this
cheapens it.
It cheapens characters like Boba Fett because, and this is like thinking back, right? He was the only one that used to wear that armor, and it's like, oh, he looks so cool. Look at that. Well, in this, it comes across to me they've gone, everyone really likes how Mandalorians look, so let's just have loads of them in this. But I always, when I was a kid, and I would see Boba Fett, and then you heard about the Mandalorian Super Commandos. Again, they were legendary characters who the Mandalorians aren't around anymore because in war they got wiped out and stuff. And it was always like a long time ago.
Like in the old Republic or something.
And that made them much cooler. Even if you say you go back to the Clone Wars and you have them there, which obviously they are in the canon, and then after that you don't see them, I'm just like, okay, cool, I can still accept that because it still means, back when this legendary war happened, these guys were around. But it's just
even in the canon, though, for Clone Wars, all we saw was Django. So he could. Is it Django? Yeah, it's Django. I was thinking, is that his name? Django. he could again been a lone person carrying on the old tradition. You know, that would have been so much cooler.
Well, I mean, Boba Fett's not even
But
a
he isn't.
Mandalorian anymore. You know, so neither is
He's a
Django.
clone.
So, but Django's not either. He's just a human, like the Mandalorians of Mandalore. He's not one of them. So it's just like, what's the point? You know. Anyway, so that's what I thought of Rebels, and what kind of went off topic a little bit there, but you know.
Okay.
Rant
Well,
time.
it was okay.
We weren't going to have any rants today.
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, I'll give it 2.5. No, 3 out of 5.
I'll give it 2. 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5. I'll stick with 2.5 actually.
Yeah, that's how it made me feel. Yeah. Thank you for joining us. You can find us on all the social medias. Go on to underneath this video, click the thumbs up button and like this episode if you enjoyed it, which we hope you did. Or these 2 episodes, because this is going to be split in 2. And also subscribe to the channel. And also there's a little bell there. If you click on that bell, you'll get notifications of all the different stuff that we upload throughout the week.
Well, that's worth clicking.
Definitely worth clicking. You can also find us on a Facebook group where we've had, some great feedback about the group recently from a few of the members, which we'd like to thank them for. And it is a really good group. It is a conversation. Everyone's respectful to each other. It's because of the members of the group that everyone has a nice time there.
Yeah.
Everyone's opinion counts, whether or not you agree with it. There's no trolling on there. Everyone's friendly.
If there was, we'd kick them out.
If there's trolling, you're gone. That's it. So everyone's friendly. There's a good bit of banter goes on. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's great. Come along and join in. Everyone's welcome. So you can find us there, and that's Forced Conversations on Facebook. We're on Twitter at Forced Convo, and you can find Colin himself
on Captain Colin.
And you can find me at the _letter J and _letter. Oh, that just went wrong.
Yeah.
At the _letter J _tank. I have to move my hand when I do that. I can't do it without it. I don't know what's going on there.
Well,
Where else can they find us?
Well, I was just going to say, on all of those social media platforms, don't forget to use the hashtag ForceConvo.
Mm-hmm.
We mentioned the Twitter handle itself as Forced Convo, didn't we?
It's at Forced Convo,
yeah. And you can also listen to audio versions of this. If you like podcasts, you can go to SoundCloud and you can listen to our podcast there directly. You can also listen to an audio version of this on YouTube. And you can definitely, and I would really recommend this, join the Taylor network of podcast feed on iTunes and other places where you can get feeds, where we are just one of many other podcasts on that network, which we're proud to be part of. And some of the other podcasts include No Apologies, Nothing On, Nerdist Bond, JK's Happy Hour, Go Trek Yourself, Double Page Spread, Gotham by Geek, and that's enough for that. I'm not plugging any more of them, but they're all good, they're all funny, and they're all geeky. So and we fit in really well.
You can also just find us on iTunes as well, right?
Oh yeah, we're on iTunes. So yeah, I mean basically we are everywhere. You just look for us.
To be everywhere.
We're either Forced. I actually did try Googling the other day just to see how easy it was to find it, and you do have to write Star Wars in as well, because otherwise you get some weird stuff when you look for Forced Conversations. Probably wasn't the best idea for a name. But
yeah. Well, if anyone has a better idea for a name, we've asked this before. Put it out there. However, when we did a little vote on the group, everyone wanted Forced Conversations, so we just kind of stayed with it. But if anyone comes up with something really awesome, we're always open to change. As much as we said we like what we know what we like. We don't like change. We might change if it's really, really good, because whatever.
We ain't changing the host, so you're stuck with us.
Yeah, you're stuck with us. That is one thing that is going to be consistent. You're stuck with our ugly mugs. Anyway, until next time.
May the Force. Oh, rubbish. Okay, you beat me. I was going to do your bit. May the Force be with you always.
I've been